I'm a lifelong fan and devotee of bodybuilding, and was dismayed to read a few days ago about one of the giants of the sport having his leg amputated due to some genetic disease. The example of this once mountain of a man with every muscle seemingly developed to perfection, now having to cope with an artificial limb, leads me to discuss what psychologists generally agree to be one of man's greatest fears, which is the fear of becoming physically disabled. While physical disability may be a major human fear, there are many examples of people who are dealing with tremendous physical disabilities leading fulfilling and productive lives. One example is Nick Vujicic, an Australian-American born in Melbourne in 1982 to Dusanka and Borislav Vujicic, both Serbian immigrants from Yugoslavia. He was born without fully formed limbs. His mother refused to see him or hold him when the nurse held him in front of her, but she and her husband eventually accepted the condition. Nick faced tremendous obstacles in life without limbs, was bullied at school and fearful for his future, and with no apparent purpose in sight, attempted suicide. However, after this, Nick persevered through life's challenges and discovered key principles of living which enabled him to find his purpose and turn obstacles into opportunities, making him one of the most sought-after keynote speakers in the world. Nick has become a world-renowned speaker, New York Times best-selling author, coach and entrepreneur, and millions of people have found hope, purpose, and the strength to overcome their challenges through Nick's inspirational speeches and powerful coaching. So what is it that has enabled Nick to achieve so much despite such tremendous physical obstacles? The answer is that he is fully grounded in the Christian faith. From a Christian point of view, outward appearance is irrelevant to the worth of a person. God himself expressed this clearly to the prophet Samuel, who was given the task of finding a replacement for the king of Israel and Judah, the flawed Saul. When directed by God to select David, of David and Goliath fame, who at the time was probably only 17 years old, Samuel was surprised. Nevertheless, God informed him, "The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." And that's in 1 Samuel 16 verse 7. It is this perspective on life that enables Christ followers to free themselves up from physical constraints and to live life to the full. It is not without reason that Jesus, the Son of God, declares that for those who believe in him, "I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." And that's in John 10 verse 10. Earlier I mentioned that Nick's parents eventually accepted Nick's condition on the basis that this was God's will for his life. How right they were. His condition has enabled him to achieve far more than many of us who are bodily whole, and has also enabled him to touch the lives of millions who face challenges in their lives. My hope is that those of you who have some form of disability or need to conquer this very real fear or any other challenge in your life, consider exploring the Christian faith. I can assure you that if you seek and find Jesus, hope will replace despair, and he will work with you to discover your purpose in life. As Pastor Rick Warren, author of international bestseller The Purpose-Driven Life, puts it, God's purpose for your life is greater than any setback you will go through.